Hey everyone, and welcome to my channel, Breakfast with Tiffany. Cheers. This morning we will be having breakfast with me. As many of you may not know, I am a veterinarian and I've worked both in general practice and now I work in animal rehabilitation, specifically animal acupuncture. So I bet a bunch of you are thinking, animals get acupuncture? Yes, they do. The first question I usually ask is, what do you do? Well, I recently got certified in animal acupuncture, and so I have been performing acupuncture on cats and dogs at an animal rehabilitation center. I do acupuncture, laser, and pain management right now. My appointment slots are usually about 30 to 45 minutes, which is very different from general practice, which they're usually about 15 minutes. So the pet comes in, I speak to the owner, get a history. How has your dog or cat been doing since I last saw them? Has anything changed? What is their typical exercise routine? How many walks per day are you taking them on? Things like that. Then I am watching the animal walk. So I'm gonna have them walk back and forth. I'm gonna look at them head on. I'm gonna look at them, from the side to analyze their gait and see if anything's changed. Are they limping? Do they look like they have more muscle on one side than the other? That tells me a whole lot about overcompensation or which side may be affected. I look at their hair coat and see if there are any changes there because that can give you a lot of information, believe it or not. Then I do my myofascial evaluation, which is basically getting my hands on the animal. I'm kind of giving them almost a massage, and I start very slowly. I make it feel as though it is a massage so that they are comfortable and they're not anxious. And for anxious pets, obviously doing this a little more slowly, a little more gently. And I may not be able to do the whole exam in one day, just because some animals are anxious. I'm not going to put them through being anxious. So maybe I'll do a little bit of my exam. We'll do a little bit of acupuncture, and the next time I'll complete my exam to get more information. I'm basically feeling, their muscles. Do they have knots? Do they have tight bands? Things like that. Then I am going to insert my needles. The needles are so tiny. I've obviously put them in myself. They do not hurt. I'll put my first needle in, wait a couple minutes, and then I will put the rest of my needles in. I will say that about 95% of the animals I have treated, even cats, really do enjoy it. They, will calm down. They'll lay down most of the time. They'll sleep. I have a few older dogs that'll pace back and forth, but then usually they'll eventually settle. And then after about 15-20 minutes, I will take out the needles. Sometimes I do electroacupuncture. Actually, I'll say most of the time I do electroacupuncture, which is using electrical stimulation, and that will give them a longer lasting pain management. And that's it. Then I take out my needles. So question number 2, what do you love about your job? Well, what I love about my job is getting to work with animals, obviously, but also specifically getting to improve their quality of life. I work with a lot of dogs that generally have arthritis, or they've just undergone some sort of orthopedic surgery, or they had a disc rupture and they're now unable to use, their back legs, let's say. And so I am working hard to improve their quality of life. I am working to decrease their pain, decrease inflammation. I also really love being able to connect with owners. Owners are so much nicer when you are doing veterinary acupuncture, like a million times nicer than they are when you are a general practice veterinarian. They are constantly, emailing or just reaching out to tell me, Sparky's doing great today, and oh wow, after your visit he's now able to go on longer walks. So that's really nice for me. And I also really like to be able to educate owners and explain to them, your dog is in pain, because they usually say, my dog's been limping for this long, but I don't think they're in pain, because they still want to go for a walk. Well, you get to inform them that because they're limping, they are most likely in pain, the same way a human who's limping is likely in pain. And, talking to them about how to decrease that pain on a day-to-day, talking to them about different pain medications and anti-inflammatories and things like that. I just really, really like that connection. Compared to other fields in veterinary medicine, this one is much more relaxed. Compared to general practice, I feel like the burnout rate is pretty low, but the compensation is also lower than general practice for the most part. Question number 3, what don't you like about your job? Well, drum roll. Things that I do not like about it. I guess I do see a lot of older animals. And so, these are animals that, I know that they're not gonna be alive in a couple of years or maybe even less than that. And, it's hard because you do build a relationship with these animals, you do build a relationship with their owners. And so it's kind of sad not, to know that their life is coming to an end, but at the same time, it's rewarding to know that you are doing what you can to improve their quality of life towards the end of their life. Another thing that I find a little bit harder to deal with is that there are a lot of owners who are kind of holding out until the bitter end. So because we're trying to improve quality of life, there are some people that, may not realize that their pet is in pain or that their pet is not having a good quality of life. And so we need to have those conversations with owners and let them know, I think that it's time to consider euthanasia possibly because, your pet is suffering and there's only so much that we can do. And number 4, for those of you who don't know, what does it take to become a veterinary acupuncturist? Well, you obviously have to get your college degree. And then you apply to veterinary school, you have to get into veterinary school and become a veterinarian. So once you graduate veterinary school, or you could also do it while you're in veterinary school, you need to complete a certification course. And you can do this through the Chi Institute, IVIS, Curacore. There are many places to do it. Most of them require that you go for multiple weekends to do coursework online. The one that I did basically all the coursework online, and then you go for a clinical intensive. So the one I did was Curacore. I really liked it because it was more scientifically based, and I can only think that way. I don't like the whole let's get the heat out of the animal and things like that. I need it to be very scientific, and we are, inserting this needle near this nerve because this nerve communicates with this and so on. So basically I did my clinical intensive. It was 4 days, all day, and it was exhausting, but it was worth it. Then you have to do a case study. So I started working here at a rehabilitation clinic, and then I ended up submitting my case study and getting certified, and it was one of the best decisions I ever made. And I really, really love what I do right now. If you have any questions, please shoot them down in the comment section below. If you like this video, please hit the like button, subscribe to my channel if you want to hear about other careers. I will be talking more about general practice veterinary medicine in my next video. And I will also be interviewing my husband and doing a video on being a dermatologist and what he loves and what he hates about that career path. So yeah, please stay tuned.